Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Annie and this is flosstube number 78. This is actually my second try at doing a flosstube today. A few months back I bought myself a webcam to be able to do some stitch with me. I never did because I never really had the time and never had the opportunity to try out my webcam. So today I knew I was off work. I had the whole day to just basically film my video. So I decided to try out my new webcam. And I did, and the colors were so washed out that basically showing you my projects drove me crazy because, yeah, I already could see at my screen that the colors were so off. I did not like that. I then decided to I was not through to through the whole video, but I decided to just rewatch it and decide if I like it or not. And I think I watched like 20 seconds and decided I do not like that. So I deleted everything I did so far, packed my new webcam away again, and now I'm here with my old one. I might still use the new webcam for Stitch With Me whenever I have the time and opportunity and to actually try that. I might, but for now I will not use that webcam anymore. It's just the colors are so washed out and I am in no means technically skilled enough to actually change the colors, if that's even possible. So yeah, leaving it with the old webcam, I'm kind of satisfied with how those videos turn out. So we're going with that. Okay, what do I have today for you in this video? As always, I talk about my cross-stitch update, what I did last week, and what I'm going to plan to stitch on next week. And in the end, I have some knitting because I have finally finished my last project and started a new one, so I'm going to show you that. I did a little bit of crochet this week, but not enough to actually show you. It's just, yeah, it's not enough to show you because you probably won't see any difference. And I think I said that last week or last video. I started those videos from a cross stitch and I want to keep it up a cross stitching. So yeah, I show you my knitting and crochet projects whenever actually something happens, like finishing or starting a new project, but not a whole lot in between. Okay, a lot of rambling at the front. So now let's get started with my actual projects. So last week, as every week, I had one project that I stitched on every day a little bit. With a little bit, I mean at least 145 stitches to have a bit more than 1,000 stitches at the end of the week. And I managed that. The project was Lilac Fairy by Vavako. It's a kit. And also last week, I asked if you would want to see like the daily progress instead of just the starting picture of the beginning of the week and then my project as far as I got. So I actually did pictures every day I stopped stitching with her. I took a picture. So I will show you a picture now of what she looked like last week I showed you every day after my stitching progress, except for yesterday. I did not take a picture after yesterday's progress because that's basically what I'm going to show you now. So, as I said, now a picture of what she looked like last week and every day in between. That's here. And this is where I got to. I'm so happy with her. She stitched on a 14 count lilac Ada, and she's basically stitched 2/1 except for those backgrounds in here and everything up in here. That's stitched 1/1 to give it a really nice 3D look. So what did I do? basically I stitched on this background over here. There were a lot of confetti stitches still missing, so I filled everything in over there. The last stitches missing for the background were the darkest 2 stitches of the darkest blue. So with that, I decided to finish the darkest blue over the whole pattern. Did that, and then moved from darkest blue to brightest blue in those corners, and over here in her dress. Finished everything over there, so all the blue is done. And then I moved to the white and did quite a bit of white over here as well as in here and in her dress over here, down there. Did that. And I'm not yet finished with all the white, so coming back to her, I will restart on the white and then move down my floss list and finish one color after the other. Also, I took the backstitching threads that were parked over here and brought them down until they ran out, so I did not get to make the corner or turn over the corner, but I'm close. So yeah, here she is. She is beautiful. The needle minder is from 1, 2, 3 stitch, and I can't wait to get back to her, and that's why you're going to see, that's why you're going to see her back during plans. Yeah, she is beautiful and I love her, and I can't wait to have her finished. But as I said, that's something we are going to talk about during plans. Okay, next, my fancy lady, my non-full coverage fancy lady for the week was Cinderella Ragged Riches by Joan Elliott. Basically, it's 2 patterns, Cinderella in Rags and Cinderella in Riches, but you can combine those patterns and stitch it as the combined version, and that's what I'm doing. So I show a picture of what she looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So she is stitched on a 28 count casual linen in the colorway Fog by Pictures Plus, and I'm stitching 2 over 2. And basically what I did, I moved down into this window, finished off all the green, and moved those the window frame further down and along the bottom. And yeah, that's basically it, I think. Oh, and the cranny that is in here, and this blue cranny, I finished that until the bottom and then started with the rest I had on my needle to backstitch this window in here like I did up here. So coming back to this one, I will probably finish backstitching everything up here and just stitch a little bit further in the window. There's also, don't know if you can see it, some more of those chronic gold swirls in and below the window, so I probably want to finish those as well, just so I have the window finished, which because it's basically background. So I want to finish that kind of fast and then move into her because she's the interesting part. So yeah, that's what I did. This is the whole piece so far. And there are also a few empty holes in here because there are still beads missing, but I will wait a little bit longer until I do those, because then I can just do more beads and not just like 3 or 4. So yeah, beading always takes a long time. You have to take out the beads, the nylon thread, the special beading needle and stuff like that. So gathering all those things already takes quite some time. Then I will bead, and in this case like for 3 or 4 beads, and then pack everything away. And for those 3 or 4 beads, or basically stitches, it will take an hour or something. So yeah, that's not worth it. I always wait until I have a little bit more to bead. Maybe even I'm at a point where I can bead 2 projects at a time. So it's just worth it to bring out the beads. Yeah, the needle minder, I did not tell you, that is from Danka Designs. And this is Cinderella. And she is beautiful. And I can't wait to get back to her. And so you will see her in plans as well. It's actually kind of funny. Normally I'm rotating through my projects kind of fast, and rarely you see projects that I stitched on one week. I'm stitching the next week as well. But this week that's kind of different. You will see that in a little bit. Okay, next one was my non-full coverage piece for the week, and this week it wasn't a fancy lady. So it was not an Expressions needlework by, the the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. I always get confused because the company stays on top and is written on top, and the actual name of the pattern is on the bottom, and it always confuses me. Of course, I know it's the Twisted Band Sampler, but yeah, it just always confuses me. So here we go. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And with this one, I am so happy. First, I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I'm at. I have to say I did stitch on it a little bit for travel stitching or out of the house stitching as well, but I have finished band number 8. And that's so amazing. This one is stitched on a 32 count white opalescent linen. I'm stitching 1/2 or the specialty stitches as called for with dinky dyes. There are 3 conversions in the pattern. One is for dinky dyes, one for DMC, and one for Aurora Soie. And as I said, I'm going with the dinky dyes. And yeah, I finished band number 8 with those specialty stitches. So last time you saw it, I had Smyrna crosses in here done. And now with the Smyrna cross variation, the whole band is really changed. So yeah, I finished that. And then I moved over here and finished, oh, I forgot the stitch again. Sheaves. Oh, I forgot it. I'm sorry, I don't know what stitch is called. Yeah, needleminder is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So next time I stitch on this one, I will move into band number 9, which again is a cross stitch band. I will start with this darkish brown color over here, do all those cross stitches, and then I will move on to the next color. And the next color will actually be a green, and I'm so excited about that. I have to say, I probably won't have a lot of out of the house stitching for like the next 3 weeks. I'm on vacation and it's lockdown, so I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, as I said, not a whole lot of progress probably on this one. Still, I'm looking forward to coming back to it in about 3 or 4 weeks. I have to say I'm kind of happy about the vacation now and that I do not have to stitch on this one. It's just the most convenient one to take for out of the house stitching. But I'm actually happy about the break. This year I started while I was still in this band over here. So basically I finished this band and I had just barely started it. Did this whole band, and this whole band. So in a bit more than 3 months, I stitched a whole lot on this project. So I'm kind of happy about a break now, putting it aside, going to other projects, and when I come back to it, I'm hopefully really motivated to get back to it once again. One thing I want to, we're finishing band number 8 now. I have finished my year-end goal for 2020. So I'm only about 3.5 months late. But that's fine, as I said. I now need a break, and I can then look forward to continue stitching on it, because I still want to finish 4 more bands this year. But yeah, I finished half of it already, and therefore I think that's fine. Okay, a lot of talking about this project, but I got like a partial finish, so that's kind of okay. Now, on to my full coverage pieces. And let's start with the full coverage piece that does not have to be a fancy lady, but this week actually was. So this is Mini Magic Mirror. Artwork is by Anne Stokes and shorted by Half Designs. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And with all my other projects, I kind of had a goal in mind when I started stitching. With this one, not really, but in the end I decided for about 400 stitches. So I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So in the end I did, I think, 450 stitches. She stitched on 28 count Lugana 2/110 stitch. Sorry, needleminder is from Just So Heavenly. And once again, I started in the first column, went from top to bottom, right to left. The next color that was missing and is not black, I start stitching 1 length of thread and then move on to the next color. So basically, I'm now at this position with starting all my colors. That's a very confetti heavy spot. So basically I do one stitch here and then a whole lot over the rest of the page or the piece, and then I move back, take another color and do one stitch there and then move somewhere completely else. So yeah, not a whole lot of progress over here, but on the rest of the piece. So I did quite a lot in this medallion over here and down here in the mirror. So yeah, really happy with this one, 400 stitches, quite a bit, happy with that, and can't wait to do a little bit more on her because she looks stunning. Every time I look at her or I hold her up, I just love how those two pages have already turned out and how they look. And I just can't wait to get back to this piece. But I think I have only 4,000 stitches left till I have reached my year-end goal. So yeah. For my full coverage pieces, my year-end goal, I decided, basically I took a stitch count that I got from stitching 200 stitches every day of the year. And then I divided them through all my full coverage pieces, and my fancy ladies got a little bit more than all the other ones. And yesterday I counted through what I had already done on all my full coverage pieces and what that would mean by doing an average of 200 every day. And that would mean I have already stitched more than 130 days, but the year only had a bit more than 100. So basically I'm 1 month ahead of my full coverage goals. So that's pretty nice. I have no idea if you understood a single word I just said. Basically I'm a month ahead of all my full coverage goals, which is pretty nice because I have already plans for Stitchmania and my full coverage pieces are not really a part of it. So I'm really fine with not being being ahead of my goals. So that's really nice. But yeah, back to this piece. As I said, I think 450 stitches, really nice progress. And I can't wait to get back to this one as well because I love all my pieces. Which is really nice because with all my pieces I have fun stitching on them, but it also means I never can decide what to stitch on next, and it's never enough progress because I want to finish all of them. Okay, now to my Fancy Lady full coverage piece for last week, and that was Starry Keep the Frog Prince. Is that right? No, this was my full coverage piece that does not have to be a Fancy Lady, but was. And Mini Magic Mirror was the one that was actually my Fancy Lady full coverage. Doesn't matter. So I did as well stitch on Starry Keep the Frog Prince, Outrageous by Marlon Dallon, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm here in the background in this corner over there. So I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. So in my last video, I told you it would be super nice to actually finish the diagonal. Yeah, no way. I actually kept this piece. I started with this piece, started the week with this one, and then kept it around till the end of the week in the hopes of getting back to it and actually finishing the diagonal, but there was just no way. This one is stitched on a 32 count ice blue linen 2/1 10 stitch. Needle minder is from Denkai Designs, and yeah, I did a little bit. And last time I told you that maybe with this column I will be able to see the crown already. You see those really light stitches over here? That's her crown. So I'm getting there, but actually really starting to see something. I will be able to do that in the next diagonal, but first I have to finish that one. Last week, on the video 2 weeks ago, I had comment asking about 32 count 2/1 10 stitch being bulky. Well, this piece mostly does not have a whole lot of colors in the same place. And as I'm doing those 10 by 10 blocks and then moving them down, it's actually quite fine. And it's okay. I had to frog once down here somewhere. That was a real pain in the ass. Because honestly, pulling out stitches in a kind of tight area, that's no fun. So I did that, but I think I left 1 or 2 that I really did not get out in there and just stitched over them. Whenever I get in more confetti heavy areas, for example her face, I'm not actually looking forward to that because I can imagine then it gets really bulky. So far I'm not in super confetti heavy areas, so it's not really bulky. It's tight and it's really good coverage, but it's not bulky. It probably will get in confetti heavy areas, but we'll see about that. I can tell you about that in approximately 3 or 4 diagonals. Yeah, so as I said, we'll see about that. I can show you my back if you like. So that's basically my back. So you can see it is tight, but it's not bulky enough that I don't get my needles through. So I'm fine with that. So yeah. And now you can make your own opinion about that. Yeah, this is Story Keep. Also with this one. I can't wait to get back to this one. With this one, I actually have not done yet a whole lot this year. So still waiting for some progress. And it would be really nice to get into a crown over there. So looking forward to stitching on it some more. Okay, and then one more thing I told you about in my last video was that last week on Wednesday, one of my projects had its birthday. It was the second birthday, so it turned 2 years old. And the project I'm talking about is Tiger Chinnigan. It's a kit by Dimensions. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And considering that I'm already stitching on it for 2 years now, I have not a whole lot done. So I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And in my last video, I told you I was not sure if I should take like a time period to stitch on this one, like half an hour or an hour, or if I should take a stitch count goal. In the end, when looking at the pattern, I realized that in the column I was presently stitching on, I had only 3 colors missing, so I just finished the column. And that also meant I started the water. That's so cool. I'm so happy about that. So this is stitched on an 18 count black Aida. The tiger itself is stitched 2/1 full cross. The water is actually stitched 1 or 2 or 3 strands half stitches. The one I did was 1 strand, so it's really not a good coverage, but that's not that's not what they're going for. It looks really cool. There will be some more fill in to do, but I have already started, so I'm happy with that. And as I said, I finished the next column and we'll be moving over there. This is actually the edge of the tiger. There's no stitching in between here, so that's so cool. I'm getting to a place where I really like to be. I'm getting closer, column's getting smaller, and I'm getting to his face. So really happy about that. Needleminder again from Denka Designs. And yeah, this is where I got to, and I'm so happy with him. This year I basically want to finish his face. That's everything I want to do this year. So it's not a whole lot to do, but with him it always looks like it's not a lot, and then it's more than I thought it would be. So we'll see. But yeah, happy. Here we go. Okay, and then on, I think it was on Thursday or on Friday, I realized there was one thing I completely forgot about. It was Webcam weekend. And Webcam weekend basically means, I start at the beginning. Webcam is a bingo board with your projects, or 25 of your projects, or 25 different goals you want to have or want to do on your projects. For me, it's all my projects, plus my Fancy Lady full coverage pieces are on there twice. And every month 2 numbers get called, and you're supposed to stitch on them a little bit. Well, for me, with my rotation, that's not super possible, so I just do it for the event, because once a month there's the Webcam weekend, where you're supposed to set yourself a goal for the weekend on those 2 projects that got called this month. And it was last weekend. And as I said, I totally forgot. I realized on Thursday or Friday, whenever Jessamine does stuff, who runs the group and who invented WebCam, uploaded the event. And I was like, oh, I think I have all my goals done already, so I'm fine. Or I have stitched already on all of my projects, so I'm fine with that. But there were just a few of my projects I wanted to get some more done. For example, Story Keep the Frog Prince, I did not get that. But Twisted Band Sampler, the band was not yet completely done, but I still managed to get some time on Sunday to finish that one. But I then had 2 more projects to stitch up. My weekend goals for the WebGo weekend are always 300 stitches on every project. So I had to do 600 more stitches. That's quite a bit. Okay, the 2 projects called for this month. The first one is Color in the Mountains by Golden Kite. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. So basically, I started this column and started filling in all those part threads. Yeah, there are 2 more part threads up in here, but the rest is filled in, and that gave me my 300 stitches. So yeah, pretty cool. This one is stitched on 25 count, 2/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Genkai Designs. And after I finish this column, I only have 1 more left, and then I have a page finished, so that's pretty nice as well. And I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Color in the Mountains. As I said, only 300 stitches, so not a whole lot, but better than nothing. Sorry, I had to cough. So yeah, next time I will move, or I will stitch on this project, I will definitely finish this column because there are only like 300 stitches, 200 or 300 stitches missing in the whole column, and hopefully even getting the next column done, because that would mean a page finish. And yeah, I'm a sucker for page finishes. So yeah, this is Color in the Mountains. Super happy with this one. I'm now getting close to, I think, 40%, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, not a whole lot of stitching left for my year-end goal. Thinking about it at the moment, I think I have around about 2,500, 3,000 stitches left for this year. That's not a lot, honestly. But yeah, here we go. Happy with this one. Really happy with this one. A lot of part threads. But yeah, that's just the way it is. There's quite a bit of confetti in there, especially in those mountains. But it turns out beautifully, so I'm happy with confetti. Okay, and the second one was actually also a Golden Kite. The Gemini Sweep by Golden Kite. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And this one is the one where you don't ever see any progress. So I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. As I said, probably you won't be able to see anything. This one is stitched on 25 count, blue even weave, 2/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Genkai Designs, and basically I'm stitching extreme cross country. Basically, or presently I'm on an off-white, which is the 5th color, as you can obviously see. I did stitch mostly in here, and I got close to 400 stitches actually, because I was at 280 or 290, and my thread ran out, so I needed a new one, and I just finished the whole thread, and then I got to 380. So yeah, as I said, mostly in here. I'm now close to finishing the color on the 2nd row of pages, so on the top half, but not yet done. I'm close, but not yet done. And then there are only a few confetti stitches over here, basically on the roofs of the houses in the snow. And then I will move to the next color, which is also an off-white. Yay! Yeah, it's the Gemini Sweep. I'm happy with how it's turning out, but it's kind of hard to motivate yourself to stitch on this one because it's only white on blue. I'm really happy I did not stitch it on white fabric. That would drive me really crazy. But yeah, last time I checked, I think I have, after I finished the color I'm presently on, I have, I think, 4 or 5 more white colors before I actually move into some darker colors and get something in there. So yeah, we'll see about that. But I'm happy with how it is turning out. It's just a whole lot of nothing at the moment. So yeah, here we go. It's also that with those projects, I always hold them up really long, and you probably can't see anything on there. So it's just kind of strange. But yeah, that's the way it is. Okay, let's move on to plans for this week. This week, it's a little bit different because my non-full coverage fancy lady, am I right? Yeah, my non-full coverage fancy lady this week would be Lilac Fairy, or is Lilac Fairy. And normally I write down all the 4 projects in the rotation where I go through alphabetically, and then I decide on the daily piece and decide on something that is not in there already. As I said, this week my non-full coverage fancy lady is Lilac Fairy. Nevertheless, I decided to use Lilac Fairy as well for my daily piece. So I show it to you again. That's that one. The reason why I decided to do that, as I said, I have plans for Stitch Mania. I will not tell you those now or today. I will do that next video or the one after. But I have already plans, and she's not part of that. So, and as I told you in a few videos back, I basically want to finish her before 9th of June because that will be her 2nd birthday. So I do not have a whole lot of time left. Basically, I have 8 days in June and I have April. So I decided to use her as my daily piece as well as my non-full coverage fancy lady. Because daily piece will get at least 1,000 stitches. And for her normal rotation as my non-full coverage fancy lady, I will use her to do another 500 stitches. 1,500 stitches will get me a long way on her. I'm sure about that. So that's what I'm going to do. I really want to finish her, and it would be perfect to finish her in April. So yeah, I will use her a lot, and just hopefully get her done really. Get her done really soon. Yeah. So here she is. She is beautiful. I can't wait to have her done. So yeah, I'm getting closer and closer to a finish. There are 37 colors in the design, and I have 9 left, or 8 or 9 colors left to stitch. So I'm really, really close, and I want to finish her. So yeah, that's why she's in there twice, which I normally don't do, but yeah, this week that's just what happens. My non-full coverage piece that doesn't have to be a fancy lady this week actually is a fancy lady, and it is Cinderella Rags to Riches. So as I told you before, I'm going to continue over here in the window, finishing the back stitching up here, hopefully doing a little bit more of those Krenix rolls and more of the greenery. And over here, the window frame is not completely done, so I'm hopefully doing that a little bit more as well. But yeah, I showed you her before. No specific goal with her. It would be really nice to finish that window, but every single one of my projects only gets a single day this week, and I have a few chores to run. So we'll see how much progress I will actually make. Okay, moving to full coverage. My normal full coverage piece that does not have to be a fancy lady, but this week actually is Mini Katie and Cruncher, charted by Haven't Enough Designs. The artwork is by Hannah Allen. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I show you where I'm at. So this is where I'm at. So it would be really nice to finish that column. But those are, I think, around 1,100 stitches. So probably not going to happen. She stitched on a 25 counted 2/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Dankai Designs. Sorry. And yeah, as I said, hopefully finishing the column, but probably not going to happen. We'll see about that. For her, I'm going to reserve her a day where I do not have to run any chores, just because I really want to finish the column. That would look super amazing because, yeah, her eye is amazing. Okay, that's that one. Yeah, that one is not cooperating while rolling her up, so I will do that after the video. Okay, my fancy lady full coverage piece for the week is Mini Cinderella, again charted by Haven't Enough Designs. Artwork is by Alexandra Daw. that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I show you where I'm at. And with this one, I actually decided now I'm going extreme cross country as well. First, finishing the color that is used the most, and that is a blended color out of B5200 and blending filament by Krennic in the color 032 that I stitched quite a bit over in here. So that's going to be the first color I want to finish. So I'm moving along first down there and then moving over the top to finish that color. She stitched on 28 count blue even weave 1/1/4 cross. Needleminder is from Dankai Designs. And yeah, just want to be done with that color because I really don't like to stitch with it. And I still have close to 6,000 stitches left in the color. So yeah, going to do that first, then it's out of the way. Here we go. That's Mini Cinderella. And those are my projects for my normal rotation. As I said, every project will get only one day, because on Friday there's, in the Full Coverage Fanatics group, another challenge starting. The challenge is Confetti Conquistadors. So the challenge does not include any stitch counts or something like that. It's just everyone gets together and stitches on their most confetti heavy piece. For me, that Supersize Max Color Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Charted by Heaven of Designs. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. That's what it's going to look like when it's done, and presently I am up in here stitching 10 by 10 blocks on the diagonal. So I show you where I'm at. This is the confetti heaviest piece I have because it's the piece with the most colors, and those colors are everywhere. So this is stitched on 40 count 1/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Lakeside Needlecraft, and basically I'm going to start a new diagonal up in here. So yeah, as you can see with all those part threads, this one is confetti heavy like crazy. So it fits perfectly for the challenge. I'm probably going to shoot for 400 to 600 stitches for the whole weekend. If I only use Saturday and Sunday. If I start already on Friday, I definitely go for 600 stitches. But yeah, here we go. As I said, really, really happy with how this one is turning out. And I can't wait to do some more on this one. Although I only have 1,700 stitches left until I've reached my year-end goal. So basically one diagonal and starting the next one. And then I'm done. But yeah, that's fine. That's really fine. I'm already thinking about advanced goals when I have finished all my year-end goals before the end of the year. Not sure that will happen, but already thinking about it. Or maybe a new start. But yeah, this is Supersize Max Color Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I'm going to stitch on that one during the weekend and hopefully making quite good progress. Because I really love this piece. It's turning out so amazing. So yeah, that's that one. Okay, that's everything. Cross stitch wise. As I said, I have now some knitting for you as well. But cross stitch wise, that's it. Told you everything. Perfect. Okay, let's see. With knitting, last time we spoke, I was still on a sweater. I had already knitted everything, but I was still sewing everything together, sewing the threads in. Now I'm done. So this is my sweater. And I stitched it as given in the pattern, so the arms are not full length, but like 3/4. And it fits really good. But I'm not happy with the neck. In the pattern, it is stated that you have quite a few stitches up in here so that you can actually pull the neck down over your shoulders. Well, when I do that, I'm really wide and massive. So that does not fit me very well. But the way I knitted it, if I don't do that, the neck just clumsily falls around. So it does not look very good as well. So I now wish I would have just did less stitches up in here in the neck and did it a little bit shorter, like a turtleneck. That would be really cool. It's not that way, but yeah. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it now. If I'm going to wear it and it just looks a little bit strange, or if I'm just going to wear it at home as a cozy sweater when it's cold, so next winter. We'll see about that, but I'm done. So that's pretty nice. I'm really happy with how it looks, except for the neck. But the rest is pretty cool. I actually have sewn it together kind of straightforward and not like that. Which is really nice because I'm not that much into sewing, especially not hand sewing. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. But yeah, that's that one. And then I've started a new project because I always want to have one crochet project and one knitting project on the go. So I have finished my knitting project. I needed something new. And I'm, again, looking for the designer. I should have done it before. Of course, I don't find it now. Yeah. I think, yeah, it looks like that. Sorry, I probably added that long break. This designer is, I think, Marisa Nördeke. I will link the shop that is actually combined with this book below. I'm not sure if they have the book in the shop, but I will link the shop below. It's from Berlin. They are online shop only, but I ordered from them some yarn before and it's really nice. So I will just link the shop below. Okay, and the shawl I'm doing is this one in here with different colors, but basically this one in here. So the yarn is from Bergère de France Unique. So this is the yarn, what it's called. It's basically 100% merino 100% merino wool. Sounded better. And yeah, those are the colors. So it's probably not going to suit me very well when it's done, but I don't care. I just wanted to try. And the yarn was on sale, so I bought it. It was a call for yarn and it was on sale, so yeah. And this is where I got to. So here we go. I really like it. It turns out really cool. And it's super easy. So yeah, I really like that. And just going to continue until the whole ball of yarn is done. So yeah, that's my new project. Probably going to show you whenever I change color or something like that, because yeah, I can't show you a whole lot at the moment. And as soon as I change color, there will be a new like checkpoint and I can show you again. Something like, okay, that's everything. I'm done. And I have done it with my old webcam. What a shame. Okay, yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, because I know some of my explanations are sometimes all over the place, and that's probably because English is not my first language. But I'm also really bad at explaining stuff in German, so that might not be the reason. It's just I'm not good at explaining. If you have any questions, just comment below. I will always come back to answer you. I do. It just takes me quite a bit of time. And I'm really sorry about that. It's just, yeah, I don't get around to do it. I don't know why. I really suck at that. I'm really sorry. But I will always answer your comment. It just takes quite a while. Okay. That's it. As I said, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you next week. Bye.